Hello students. In today's lecture we'll learn the concept of directing and its various principles. So directing is another function of management which we are going to see now. So it is the important function of management, and it's a connecting link between all the other functions of management, which they are planning, organizing, controlling, communication, etc. So directing acts as a link between other functions of management. It is the heart of management process through which management initiates the action. That means it brings the plans into action because of directing principle. Okay, now what is directing? Directing is the process or technique of instructing, motivating, guiding, inspiring, counseling, and leading people towards the accomplishment of organizational goals. So directing means showing the right path to your subordinates and seeing that they do the work in the way it is being asked them to do, and to see that the organizational goals or objectives are achieved. Because in directing, you instruct people, you guide them, you inspire them to give their best, you try to increase their efficiency, and it's a continuous managerial process which goes on and on throughout the life of an organization. So it's not a one time activity at all, it is to be continuously undertaken in the organization. So let us take a look at the definition of directing. Directing is a complex function that includes all those activities which are designed to encourage subordinate to work effectively and efficiently in both the short and long run. That means if you want to uh, ask, or if you want to get work done of your organization from your employees effectively and efficiently both in short and long run, that means short term and long term, longer period of time, then whatever activities are included in them, just now I mentioned that it includes leading, instructing, motivating, inspiring, executing, supervising, guiding, isn't it? So all these activities are involved in which, so it is called as a complicated function, or you can call it as a complex function. Okay, so this is directing. Now we are going to see what is the importance of directing. The first one is, in importance we are going to see that why directing function is so very important in any kind of organization. Okay, so the first one is it initiates action. As like other functions, as I already mentioned, the directing is a link between all other functions of management. So other functions like planning, organizing, they create a platform for doing the action, but actually directing is a function which initiates the action. The action is taken on the basis of the way the employees are being directed, they have been guided, accordingly the action is taken. So actually action takes place when you are having directing. Therefore directing is a function which initiates the action, and other all functions of management creates platform for doing the action. Okay, then in integrating the effort, second point, of course directing brings together all the resources together and see to it that all the resources are properly utilized and the efforts are integrated properly. All of them are doing their work in a very sincere manner. The third point is motivates the employees. As I said, I mean, again and again I'm telling that directing is the process of also so many activities. As I said, leading, instructing, motivating. So motivating is one of the important factor, because unless and until you motivate your employees, they will never get inspired, they will never do their best, they will never come forward and try to give their 100%, concentrate on their work. So motivation plays very important role. Whenever you are directing people, you need to first of all motivate them. So motivation is a function which is played through directing function, you can call. So directing helps to initiate the function of motivation as well, we can call it as this way also. Next is provide stability. Of course, when you are having a good workforce, naturally, if you are having good directing, we can call, that means if you are having good managers at all the levels who are giving you proper direction, proper guidance to all the employees to do their work, then what will happen, your laborers or your employees will not even think about leaving your organization and searching for a better job in another organization. And therefore what will happen, the organization is supposed to be a stable when your labor turnover is very less, right? So you have your workers or employees working in your organization who are willing to work in this organization for longer period of time. So that brings stability to the organization. If people are frequently leaving the job in your organization and new people are joining, if this frequency is much more, then what will happen, it leads to instability of the organization. So this depends upon how you direct people, what kind of leadership style do you have. If you are having very inspiring, motivating and good style of directing and leadership, then definitely people are willing to stay in your organization, they will not leave the job and go to another organization. So this automatically leads to or brings about stability to that organization. Okay, then next one is coping with the changes. Generally what happens whenever any change is introduced, human tendency is that people resist change, whatever change it might be. Even if in our day to day life also, the season undergoes a change. Suppose we are enjoying our winters and then now the season has been changed and it's summer. Okay, so this is change in the environment, this is change in the climate, right? So that change is also negatively viewed by many people because it's a human tendency. What do people say? Oh, it was winter was quite good, this summer is quite difficult to experience, right? So people keep on complaining, they have negative attitude towards any kind of change in life. You have to undergo all sorts of changes, maybe they're positive, negative, small or big, any sort of change, but all the changes are maximum, they are negatively viewed by maximum number of people. So definitely in the organization also, suppose new technology is being introduced in the organization, so the first reaction of your employees is that they will view it negatively. Okay, because when the new technology is introduced, you people have to learn that technology, right? You will have to undergo training, how to use the technology, how to implement it, right? So definitely learning something, doing new things, people don't like, and therefore definitely they are satisfied with the earlier things, so they keep on complaining that why the management has made a change in technology, isn't it? So they'll negatively view it. But if your leader is quite good, if he or she is giving you good guidance, a directing function is very well implemented in organization, then what will happen, your leader will convince his employees that how this change is beneficial for you as an individual and for the organization as a whole, and he will communicate positively all sorts of changes which will be taking place, and he'll make you willingly work with those changes. So I mean, this is the ability of the leader to make his employees adapt with the changes and look at the changes positively, right? So you need to change the mindset of the employees, right? So this change can be brought only by the management. So your directing function plays very important role in making your employees adapt the changing environment, whatever changes it may happen within the organization or outside the organization. So it becomes easy for the organization if your directing function is doing all very well, then the employees are ready to cope up themselves, adjust themselves, adapt themselves with the changing environment. And the next one is effective utilization of resources. So definitely directing function plays very important role in maximum optimum utilization of resources. Because of proper direction, because of proper instructions, proper orders, proper guidance, what happens, your people will work very well, they will avoid wastages and delays, and they will see to it that they are giving their best and they are utilizing all the resources in a very proper and optimum way. All resources include your men, material, money, right? Raw material. So all these resources are very scarce. First of all, you have taken a lot of efforts to gather, assemble these resources, so definitely it's the duty of the management to see to it that these resources are used at their optimum without any wastage, and therefore if you are having good directing function implemented in the organization, definitely people work very well if you are having good direction. Okay, so these are the points which explain itself what is the importance of directing in the organization. Now let us go through the principles of directing. In principles, the first principle is maximum individual contribution. Now here, an accomplishment of organizational objectives at maximum level depends upon how people work wholeheartedly, what is their contribution towards the organizational goals, and it is the responsibility of every manager to adopt such kind of direction technique which will definitely increase the level of contribution of its subordinates, right? So here you should try to see to it that your directing function or directing technique is of such kind that your individuals or your employees are ready to give their maximum and try to achieve the organizational goals. Then second principle is principle of harmony of objectives. Now the employees join or work in the organization for satisfaction of their physiological and psychological needs, right? Whenever a person do a job, he or she wants to get satisfied his or her wants, and therefore we work, right? So the objective of organization is different, and objective of an individual is different. What is the objective of organization? Maximization of profit, that is the primary objective, right? So for achievement of organizational objectives effectively, what does manager do? He has to integrate both the individual and organizational objectives by using the appropriate direction technique. Now what does this mean? It means that you have to get work done from the individual in such a way that his individual needs are also satisfied and organizational objectives are also achieved. So that way you will have to make use of directing technique, and you will have to convince people that when you do wholeheartedly the work given by the organization or the assigned task, definitely your individual wants would be satisfied, but at the same time organizational objectives will also be achieved. So both the parties would be benefited because of good directing technique. So it leads to harmony of objectives. Okay, then next one is principle of effectiveness of direction. Okay, so the role of successful manager is to direct employees effectively, ask them to work effectively so as to get work done by employees without affecting their own need satisfaction. So appropriate direction technique should be properly implemented effectively, so that your organizational objectives are achieved. At the same time, the wants and needs of employees as an individual can also be achieved. Then the next one is principle of leadership. Now for effective direction, or to implement the principle of direction effectively, what is required is good leadership quality, right? So leadership is an unique factor of effective efficient management of every organization. And it is, what is leadership? It is the process of influencing employees to work willingly and effectively for achieving the organizational objectives. So achievement of organizational objectives depend upon the efficient functioning of subordinates, how well your subordinates are working, and which depends directly on how well your leadership style is being used by your leader, and how much your subordinates are influenced because of your leadership style. Okay, so your leader has to be a good your leadership style has to be a very unique one, a style which is being accepted by all the subordinates, where your subordinates are influenced by that style and they are getting inspiration from the leader to give their best. That's what we need, right? Then next is principle of communication. Now any success of any organization depends upon how effectively you communicate with with each other, especially what sort of communication goes between superior and subordinate. A superior has to tell the subordinates what to do, when to do, how to do a particular job. He has to clearly tell them or give them orders and instructions through effective communication. And communication is the only way of reaching the subordinates by sharing your ideas, thoughts and feelings. Okay, so when you go for upward communication from subordinates, superior knows how they are working, and therefore there has to be a two-way communication in the organization, so that because of which your relations would be more healthy. Your superiors can give you orders and instructions in a proper way, while as if the subordinates are having any difficulties, any grievances, that can also be communicated to the superiors. So two-way communication plays very important role in effective implementation of function of directing. Then we are having principle of comprehension. Direction is the process of conveying orders and instructions to subordinates, as I said earlier also. So what they have to do, what to do, when to do, how to do, is directing, isn't it? So the success of organizational, I mean, whether the organization is able to achieve its objectives depends upon how well the understanding is, or how well the objectives are understood by the subordinates. Okay, and the understanding of objectives by subordinates depends upon how well these objectives are being conveyed to them by their superiors or boss. So correct comprehending of orders and instructions, which are understandable to the subordinates, is very important, so that they can do their work without any kind of confusion, and there are no any unnecessary queries are not raised if you are well understood everything which is being conveyed by your superior. Okay, then the next principle is principle of unity of command. Now this is the principle which we have learnt in our first semester in principles of management. What is unity of command? This is the principle given by Henry Fayol. Unity of command means at one time one individual should get orders from only one superior. Okay, so one boss for one individual, that is the principle. Okay, so an employee in organization should receive orders and instructions at one time from one superior only, and the orders and instructions, if he gets from more than one superior, then what will happen? He will be confused as to whose orders are to be followed, right? So this unity of command principle has to be strictly followed. Then next one is principle of delegation of authority. Now delegation of authority means assigning the duties to by superior to subordinates. Then the purpose of delegation, delegating means to give authority to your subordinate, so that he can do his job effectively, right? So as much responsibility is being shared or shouldered to the employee, in the same way he has to be given authority to do the job properly, right? So he can take his decision within the limit of that authority. So appropriate authority should be given by superiors to take the decisions which are related to the job assigned to that subordinate. And when appropriate delegation of authority is undertaken, what happens because of that? It leads to high efficiency in the organization. Okay, so you can take your own decisions because that authority is being given to you by your superior. Next is principle of use of direction technique. Now which technique of direction you use, whether it is consultative, free rein, there are various techniques of direction. So use of technique of direction depends from person to person. It depends upon the manager. It depends upon the nature of work and environmental situation, and also on the nature of that particular individual. So the boss or the superior can use proper direction technique for achievement of organizational objectives. Then next principle is principle of participative decision making. Now if you want to accomplish the organizational objectives effectively, managers should integrate individual goals and group goals, and this is possible only when it allows its subordinates to participate in decision making process. And this participation can be gained through inviting their ideas and suggestions. And because of this, what happens when when you ask your subordinates to give their ideas, suggestions, participate them or allow them in decision making process, then they feel that you're giving importance to them, they are being considered as important part of organization, and the effectiveness and the efficiency of implementation of decision increases because of their participation. And the last principle is principle of follow up. So direction is a continuous process which ends with follow up of work done by subordinates. So manager gives orders and instruction to subordinates. He is a person who tells his subordinates what to do, when to do, how to do a particular job. And only order passing is not the only limited job done by the manager. He should also supervise and take a review of work done by the employees at regular interval, and see to it that his subordinates are working properly as per given instructions. And if they are facing any kind of difficulties, the the orders can be changed or modified. So this job can be done uh, by the manager. So principle of follow up comes as the last follow up, where the principle where at the end what do we do, whatever work is being assigned to the subordinate, you take a review and see to it that the work is being performed as per the direction or as per the instruction given to that subordinate, and all the organizational objectives are achieved. Okay, so this is the end of directing function. So with this we will end with today's lecture. Thank you.